We are live. Hello. Good evening, Sichawa, Mutozi Chwanyi. Hello, Munishani Mwewantu, greeting you in your time zone. Welcome. It feels like it's forever since we were together. Kale Mwewantu, Modike, we see you. Confirm, guys, sound check. Can you hear us? Sound check, guys. Sound check. It feels like it's... Judy Mulishani, Zain, how are you? Modi, how are you? Our sister is back today. It's a full house. Mama Matipa is here. Mama Mary would be joining us soon. Mulishani tuposhanye. Share, guys. Good evening. Isaac Mabunda Mulishani, 100%. Thank you. Sound check, guys. Sound check. Good, Wazeni Ngamuni. We know. Mama Matipa, greet your guests. Na Mami Fuluka. Kale.
Hello, viewers and listeners. Mulishani, Mulibwanji, Mulibuti, Mutozichwani, Mudingai. I missed you all. I was unwell, but I'm now back, and it's good to be back to continue giving our checks and balances on issues affecting this great country of Zambia. Thank you, Mama Pumolo.
Welcome, guys. Chiteni share tufike kwa nangu 100. Zilota tuayambe. Unless tufike kwa nangu 100, tuafika pa 40. Ambe chiteni share mwevantu. Share. Va Odi, good to see you. Good evening, Va Odi. Patrick Xavier, good evening. Good morning. Ifakunoni muma morning. Blessed Silungwe, freedom is coming. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Oh, Mandini, I feel like we've been on a roller coaster, guys. Roller coaster. The Zambian political scene is a roller coaster. You know, this whole Munir Zulu thing has just thrown us off the balance. Then we have this LGBTQ thing going on. And we are honored to have the Vice President of the United States, Madam Kamala Harris, in the view. She's in Lusaka. Yes, women power, girl power, that's what we want. We want women to be in political offices, as the United States has demonstrated. The second most powerful woman in the United States is a woman, Kamala Harris, and she has come to Zambia. We are yet to see Madam Nalumango to go to America. Women's rights, we deserve our Vice President, Madam Nalumango, has not represented us at any international fora. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the democracy we are talking about. If the Vice President, if Joe Biden can give the instruments of power to Kamala Harris to fly around the world to represent America, Why can't our own Vice President, Madam Mutarina Lumango, fly around the world and represent Zambia? This is something to think about, guys. This just crossed my mind right now as I'm speaking, that we have the Vice President of the United States, Madam Kamala Harris. She was in Ghana, now she's in Zambia. We are yet to see our own. You know, we were celebrating to say we have our second female VP, the highest office in the land, is a woman, but we are yet to see her speaking at international forums and representing Zambia and women in the entire world at large. So those are my comments about that. I'm excited. You know, I am half American. I am an American citizen. So I am proud of Madam Harris. I voted for her, yes. I can proudly say I'm a proud Democrat and I voted for Kamala Harris. And for her to be in Zambia, I feel so proud. I feel so proud she's there. Madam Harris is in Zambia, and Madam Harris is seeing all the undemocratic practices that are happening in Zambia right now. Yes. Madam Kamara is not there by accident. They are going to observe what is happening on the ground, you know. Secret Service in Munchende, before Madam Kamara came to Zambia, the Secret Service was there, FBI, investigating everything. So guys, Zambia is not an island. And I would also like to say that, you know, Madam Kamala Harris is coming, has brought the Netherlands, which was formerly Dutch. These are the people who perpetuated apartheid in South Africa for so many years. And myself, I would like to say that I would like to see the Netherlands host a conference in South Africa. I would like to see these people make apologies and reparations for the countries that they oppressed for so many centuries. Up to now, Africa, Zambia, South Africa, we are still struggling from the damage which was caused by these people. The Netherlands, the Dutch, they caused a lot of damages to especially South Africa, Zambia, even Africa at large. So as these people are coming to talk about South Africa, as these people are coming to talk about democracy in our country, let them also apologize. Let them take time to reflect on what they did to Africa. Let them also take time to make changes, make amends, ask for apologies. You know, you just can't come to Africa and talk democracy despite forgetting what you have done to Africa. Eh? To talk about democracy, we know what the Dutch did. They have changed their name into Netherlands. We know what they did to Africa, and we know America. We know America, on which side America was during the struggle for freedom of most African countries. We know what side America was. So these are some of the things, guys, we just can't throw these things under the carpet and forget that they never happened. First and foremost, people need to acknowledge what they did. They need to apologize and make amends and reparations, because we still remember, history makes us what we are today. We can never forget who was our enemy, because our enemy, once they come today and they want to be equal partners, we have to think twice, because those people, they were our enemies, they were our oppressors. Now they are back as friends. But as they are back as our friends, or trying to be our friends, trying to be our business partners, trying to promote democracy, all I can say is let them think back what they did. Let them acknowledge what they did. Let them ask for apology. Let us face the past. They just can't come and think everything is okay. No, Africa is still healing. Africa is still healing. We are still healing. There is still stuff going on caused by these same people who are coming to sing democracy, and we are happy and excited about it. Yes, We are happy and excited about it, but lest we forget our history, and we shall not going to do that. So on those few words, Mama, I turn over the floor to you. Maybe you can have your opening remarks.
Well, thank you very much, Mama Pumulo. Listeners, I'm sure you are aware that Zambia is hosting a democracy summit starting on the 29th to the 30th. And we hope good will come out of it. And we value democracy in this country. But of late, you have seen what has been happening in this country. I would like to just borrow a few words of President Biden, who says as a community, people need to stand up for the values that unite them. Democracy means good justice, the rule of law, freedom of speech, assembly, freedom of the press, as well as freedom to congregate in whatever religion that you would like to. At the same time, I hope they are aware about the things that have been happening in Zambia. There has been a lot of restrictions in as far as other political parties are concerned. These political parties have had their freedom to assemble curtailed. Sometimes the freedom of speech has landed some of them in cells. The rule of law itself has not been practiced 100%. And the freedom of religion, if you saw the last time where our previous president, Mr. Edgar Chagwa, went to congregate in a church, he was actually warned that he is lucky to be allowed to trot from church to church, and that if this continues where he's going to use the church as a campaign ground, that freedom will be withheld from him. So it is good that Madam Kamala Harris is coming here, and I sincerely hope and pray that opposition or political parties will be allowed to attend this summit. But so far up to today, none of them have been given an invitation to attend this summit. So in my view, I don't know which type of democracy we are trying to push forward for our dear friends there in the West to see. I don't know whether we have two laws in Zambia, one for our guests who come into the country, and when they're not in the country, we go back to our old ways of stepping on people's democratic rights. So with those few words, I want to thank you most sincerely as myself and Mama Pumulo tackle some of these issues affecting our country. Democracy Summit that is going on, the LGBTQ that you know Zambia is very much against. We saw Madam Kamala Harris land in Accra, Ghana, and she pushed the same agenda of LGBT. She actually says it's for her, it's a belief, and she firmly believes that this is a human right, but as I have continued to say on this program, human rights are those rights that you yourselves want to believe in, and you want to push them under other countries' throats. And so we are also going to, you've seen what has happened to Honorable Munir Zulu. Again, it borders on his democratic rights, and so on and so forth. So we wonder what this democracy summit is all about. For me, if opposition parties are not allowed to attend this summit, then really it is a sham. It is a sham, and in my view, it is something that they have decided to host to appease the host who are actually aiding them with some financial aid to develop this country. But I've always said, how far can we go? I ask our leaders, how far can begging for money from the West take us? We've got to have some morals, some values, and good beliefs on how we live among ourselves before we extend this to our neighbors, as well as people who live away from us. Thank you very much, Mama Pomono.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So guys, as you join in, welcome, welcome. We are here to talk about the Democracy Summit, which is being held in Lusaka right now, and also directly connected to the Democracy Summit. We saw our young youthful member of parliament ambushed and abducted by the Zambia police, which is clearly a violation of human rights as well as abuse of power, and as well as so human rights and abuse of power. Yeah, two things that are clearly an infringement on the democracies that we enjoy on as Zambians. So we are talking about the Democratic Summit, Munir Zulu's predicament, and also we are talking about the LGBTQ. So I will start with the Democracy Summit first. As my partner here, Anik, has clearly mentioned, all the opposition, as up to now, we are well informed that they have not been invited to this Democratic Summit. So we believe that UPND is not the mother, is not the originator, is not the creator of democracy in Zambia. UPND came into government through a democratic process. They were accorded this democratic process. Hence them coming into power, we have seen the deterioration of our democracy in Zambia. Two things, I'll just talk about the two recent things that are happening. This summit that is going on, they have not opened the door for other political players in the country, stakeholders. I think this is very, very unfortunate, to say the least. Like, you have people invited from all over the world, people flying from all over the world and all regions of the world, and neighbors are flying into this summit, but you are failing to invite your own people. It's like, panganda abeni maisa, mwabulenko ko mwaipaya, nengombe, you have a big feast. Panganda na ukwataba, nero abeni maisa, waibulenko kone namana rice, you prepare a big feast for these foreigners, and you kick your children to sit outside and wait while these foreigners feast and eat, and then you leave, you lock your children outside. This is what Banyu don't have done. So what democracy are you talking about if you can't even invite the key players in the democracy of the country? The key players are PF and all other political parties. Because without PF being democratic, UPND would not have come into power. But because PF respected democracy, that's why they allowed the democratic elections to happen. And we saw the former president surrendering the instruments of power. So this is very sad. To me, I am really saddened. And I move on to the topic of our son, Munir Zulu. He's an honorable member of parliament, but to me and many women, he's our son. And to comment on this topic, I won't waste much time, because we have all been following what has happened to Munir Zulu Munir Zulu came out, Honorable Munir Zulu came out as a whistleblower. Now let us find a definition. What is a definition of a whistleblower? Let's talk with facts, because I know I get attacked here in Gandela and that here, have your facts together. So I have my other phone here, and I'm gonna pull up the definition of a whistleblower. Whistleblower. This is our country. And our country and democracy move together. Democracy is the rule of the majority, you know. This new dawn, they ascended to power because they had a landslide victory. So if we are saying something, they should listen to us, because the majority who voted for them, that's why they are there. They are in power because they got a majority vote. But in democracy, what it means that even if out of the minority, there is one person who's speaking, listen to them. Right now, we don't even know what the numbers are, because we know that New Dawn is unpopular. Its popularity is nosediving. So, what is a whistleblower? According to Wikipedia, let me read the definition of a whistleblower. According to Wikipedia, a whistleblower is a person, often an employee, who reveals information about activity within a private or public organization that is deemed illegal, immoral, illicit, unsafe, or fraudulent. Whistleblowers can use a variety of internal or external channels to communicate information or allegations. So basically, I won't go there. I won't read more, but at least we know what a whistleblower is, a definition. Now, Munir Zulu, Honorable Zulu, came online and he said he had some information regarding this infamous Lusaka door carriageway, which we saw Honorable Kasende Mwenda tried to protest. They were ambushed at the site of the protest and bundled out, and they were prevented from a peaceful protest. That is another, undemocratic practice. Under the law of Zambia, you can have a peaceful protest. You don't need a permit. You just need to inform the police location and the reason and many other pertinent details. You inform the police you are clear. You give the police 7-day notice. But we saw Kasonde, president for EFF, Kasonde Mwenda was bundled up and they were locked up and detained for trying to have a peaceful protest over this same Lusaka doorway, because it smells a scam. We have all talked about it. We are not going to go into the details. Today we're talking about it. Munir Zulu, Honorable Zulu. Yes, Mama.
Mama Mulo, could you just allow Mama Chikamoneka onto the program? Thank you.
Where is she? I don't see her in the waiting room. Can you send her the link? Tell her we are on Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
If you can send her the Zoom link. So guys, we are just saying that, I was just saying that, okay, I'm back. So now, Honorable Zulu he came online and he said he has some information about this door carriage road that some officials, 3 ministers were paid an equivalent to the cost of that road. And the details of it all, we all know it. So he was supposed to appear to ACC and police on Monday and Tuesday, but before he could do that, he was ambushed and abducted by Zambia police and charged with criminal libel. Now, what is this charge which our Honorable Zulu has been charged with? We are not going to go into the details, but I'll just bring to speed to the current affairs. So one, he was abducted. And he was ambushed and then abducted and kept in a police cell for overnight. I don't know how many hours. So, and then he has been charged with criminal libel and is out on a police bond. So and now let's look at the definition of what he has been charged. He has been charged with criminal libel, a malicious defamatory statement in a permanent form, rendering the maker liable to criminal prosecution. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not really a lawyer, but for me as a layman or laywoman, what I understand is that Mr. Honorable Zulu said he had some information that certain officers had received so much money and he was going to prove it. He actually challenged the ACC to start investigating them, and then he had proof. Now, before Munir could even release that proof, he is ambushed, and then he is ambushed and abducted and bundled away and charged with criminal libel. Now, now my question is, how can you charge someone on nothing? Because Mr. Zulu, Honorable Zulu, has not said anything. He has not revealed anything. He said he would review. He had documents to prove these corrupt practices by these ministers. Now, imwe, mwaima wangu, it's like abasungu balanda, you put the cart before the horse. Mamona. I don't want to be rude. I wish I can say it in Bemba here. If you know what I'm going to, what I really want to say in Bemba, I wish I can say it, but it's going to sound rude and crude. So Ndelandat, Abasungu Balandat, this ACC and Zambia police put the cart before the horse. In other words, Babili Minokumuchta charge. Now, which takes me back to our president, what he said. Our president issued a statement to say, this young man is very, what is the word, Anik? What did the president call our Munir?
Well, go on, I'll remember
yes,
the word.
So the president issued a statement and actually urged the ministers to sue him. Mamona. I don't know, I don't want to use the right word. I have to quote him word for word. But whatever word the president said and the message the president issued was Munir should be sued for saying that, for making an allegation. So Konkeni Winwapa one, the president indirectly by the president coming in and stepping in to ask the ministers to sue Munir, that is an indirect order to Zambia police to arrest Munir. That is a direct order for ACC and all our investigative wings to do nothing. And I watched Dr. Chimbaka Mbwili today. That's why I've tagged him, and go and watch what Dr. Chimbaka Mbwili said. It's very sad that, you know, as a president of the country, if you interfere, if you say something to protect your ministers who are being.
Mama Pumulo, the word he used is Munir is very mischievous.
Yes. So the president called Munir mischievous, and we shall read the definition of this word mischievous. What does mischievous mean? Definition of mischievous. A person causing or showing fondness of causing trouble in a playful way, causing or intended to cause harm or trouble. So we have an honorable member of parliament who is a whistleblower, who is saying he has proof of corruption. And then the president comes in and says that, you know, Honorable Zulu is mischievous. And that, of course, set everything in motion. That was an indirect order, you know, by the president to Zambia police to arrest him. It was an indirect order for ACC. Right now, even if Honorable Zulu reports something, because the president said that Munir Zulu is going to cause trouble or harm, they won't take that report seriously. So as a human rights advocate, to me, that is abuse of power, you know. It is abuse of power because the president should be quiet on such matters. If his ministers whom he appointed are being accused, he should just be quiet and let the democratic policies and systems run in the country as they should. Zambia is a sovereign country. We have systems in place. Welcome, Mama. Welcome, Mama. We have systems in place to investigate any accusations that are placed against government officials who are bearing office, you know. So for the president to call Munir Zulu mischievous, that is an abuse of power. It shows abuse of power. It shows the lack of separation of power. It shows intimidation. That is intimidation. And that is it, threatening. That is a threat to Munir Zulu and the democratic process. Now, I just want to say something before I hand over. I hand over the chair to one of my beautiful ladies here. So we know that our president, we know when he was in campaign, there was a big story to say the president had one of his people arrested for stealing an animal on his farm. This is a good example that I want to use here. So at one point in time, our president, one of his relatives stole an animal on his farm. And then we were told, we are reliably told that when a relative of the president stole that animal, this person was prosecuted within the law and he was arrested. Mamona, ingombe. I'm sure the president was not there when this cow was stolen, the cows. The president was not there, but he received word to say, somebody alleged to say, cow or cows have been stolen. And what did our president do? He gave an order to say, prosecute that person who stole my cow, right? Now, fast forward, our president, away from his farm, he is running Zambia. He's the president of Zambia. He's in charge of millions of resources. He's in charge of appointing people to manage these resources. And then we have a young member of parliament there who comes with allegations to say to the same president to say, hey, ngombe. But in this case, it's not ngombe. They have received so much back transfer. Now, I want you to see the two reactions. When it was his animals involved, he said, prosecute that person. The person was prosecuted and spent time in jail. When it comes to government official, we see our president in a different reaction. Instead of saying, yes, let the full extent take its action by ACC investigate, determine if these officers are clean, he takes a different approach and says, my ministers sue this man, he's very mischievous. So this is where I am raising my eyebrows. I'm like, really? When someone stole a cow in your farm, you didn't even give a lawyer to that to the person. The person who stole the animal, a lawyer, he was not even tried. I don't know how they did it. but he was arrested. Munir Zulu is whistleblowing. He's called mischievous. Sue him. We see what's happening. In short, the moral of the story is like, if you are rich, if you are poor in Zambia, you will go to jail for nothing. You can be innocent, even as innocent as you are just a whistleblower because you have no money. When big money is involved, a case will be turned against you. You are just there to do your job as an honorable citizen, honorable member of parliament. In fact, he reported the case as a part of whatever organization he belongs to. He didn't report the case as a member of parliament. So we are in problems. Democracy all over the world is threatened by people who have money. Because people who have money, 10 cases around. I'm in a group where people are talking, this Munir, he should be very careful. He will end up in jail. I'm like, yes, because we know. Nangu O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson. What happened? He walked free because of money. So this is what I'm saying to say, I feel sad for Zambia. Our democracy has reached a rock bottom. That's why we find our prisons, they are full of people who store a banana. A woman who store bread will be in a cell. But a rich person accused of Faith Musonda, they are walking free. So we are here to say, me as a mother, nim fulwa. Elo mwaikata Munir Zulu mwaikata ma voters wonse. Munir Zulu is the face of Zambian voters. For your own information. 10% of you who have money are very few in Zambia. You cannot even put church in office. But if you touch Munir Zulu, you are touching the voters. That is the face of the Zambian voters. I am just telling you, advising you, by Zambia Police, His Excellency, by ACC, let democracy rule in Zambia. We are not a dictator. Munir Zulu, give him the chance. If he's proves if you prove that information, he can't prove his case, then you can charge him. How can you charge someone without giving him a chance to exculpate himself? Uliowa ibire ngombe na tama mwalimu kakisha. Bushenishta mwa ibere uliowa ibire ngombe ati nani? Uliowa ibire ngombe mwalimu kakisha. Nishta mwa bala ishida mkuta report ati ngombe na beba. Nishta mwa itilo uliowa ibire ngombe. Mwabeba ati bali ba mischievous balya. Bale kubepesha ati nawo ibire ngombe. Nishta mwa mpokolele kwa uliowa ibire ngombe. Mwalimu kakisha. The same principle should apply to Munir Zulu. Let Munir explain himself. Don't hang him. When he is just a whistleblower, he should be protected. He's a member of parliament. And I think I end here on this case ya kwa Munir Zulu. Ile fulisha. Mule chusha bana besu, le Kenya bana besu. Let our children live in the democratic society, Democratic Republic of Zambia. Let them exercise the democratic principles for which our country believes in. A few people who own money in Zambia want to run Zambia company. No, we say no to that. And all mothers have to be angry at this. We can't allow it day in, day out. He's a member of parliament. Members of parliament, they don't do anything. Munir is such an amakayako with his own brand, patriotic. Promote him. Don't kill his vision. Do not belittle people because of image. You are mocking him, shame on you. The brain of a person is the same, despite your physical appearance. shame is all I can say. You are on mute, Anik. You are on mute.
Thank you, Mama Pumulo. Just to add on to what you have alluded to, I would like to remind President HH that you ascended to your seat based on what you promised the Zambian people. You promised the Zambian people rule of law, justice, and you promised them freedom of speech. You promised them political participation, no violence, civic engagement, good governance, inclusiveness of the marginalized, as well as respect for other nations, cultures, and morals. You did promise the people of Zambia, and the people of Zambia trusted you with their vote. And now I would like to address Mr. Felix Muka, who I have seen write so many comments as we are deliberating this issue. Mr. Muka, all of us three here have been to school and are well learned. And we know what is happening in this country. And we are very much aware that the Ndola, the Lusaka Ndola dual carriageway is in desperate need of attention. But when somebody comes out and discloses that he or she is aware that 2 ministers received an X amount of money into their personal account, that person is called a whistleblower and needs to be treated with white gloves. That person needs to be treated with white gloves. And so that is where separation of powers come into play. Anti-Corruption Commission, DEC, why are they directly under the president? Why is the president interfering? It's a shame that he should be directly involved in leading this case because of his interference. We've had so many scandals since this government came into office. We've had scandals of Sujilite. So where is the fight against corruption? And you, Mr. Felix Muka, you want to come on this platform and try and educate us three? Like, are you really serious? Don't play around with the lives of the Zambians. And so I didn't understand what all this hullabaloo was all about yesterday when Munir was picked up by Anti-Corruption Commission. He alleged, I've always said, he who alleges must prove. It is not a criminal offense, it's a civil matter. The people that said they were going to sue Munir, Honorable Milupi, Honorable Musokotwani, where are you? Sue Honorable Munir Zulu if you think he has dented your image. What did you call him to ACC for? To do what? To intimidate the young man? Is that why you called him to ACC? For him to sleep in those dirty cells? Because I would like to say that was intimidation. If you are aggrieved with what he said, take him to court. It is a civil matter. Mr. Muka, I hope you are listening and you are learning something from this. It is a civil matter. Let not the president interfere with cases. It is called abuse of authority. And someone here on Facebook yesterday was giving me some silly example to say, If you are at a scene of murder and the police ask you to come to ACC, won't you go? I'm like, hello? These are two different cases. Murder, yes, you go to the police. But this is an allegation leveled against you. Do you need to be picked up at night? You ambush somebody and you pick someone. That's where the difference comes in. The West that you are entertaining tomorrow at this democracy summit, they promote political participation. They abhor violence, civic engagement, good governance, inclusiveness. But they do not respect other nations' cultures and morals. That they have to be told. You need to respect other nations' cultures and morals. The president of this country is on record while in the United States saying Zambia is ready to align its values. What did he mean by saying we are ready to align our values? You pick Munir as if he's a fugitive, yet you fail to disclose all the MOUs that you have signed under the earth. The African MOU, the Kenya land, the DRC MOUs, and so on and so forth. Zambians are yearning to be told what MOUs you are signing, but you don't want to tell the Zambian people. What is that? Isn't that dictatorship? You want to do what you want to do. And so we hope, Madam Kamala Harris, what you went to say there in Ghana should never be repeated here in Zambia. We do not want you to come and promote your LGBTQ beliefs. We equally urge the president to go ahead and tell the Zambians where he stands. It's not enough to hide behind the law. We need to know where the president of this nation stands, because they are calling it a human right. What is your belief, Mr. President? In the West, we have their own democracies are split. We need this country to legislate morality. Murder is a crime in this country and in so many other countries. I would like to think all over the world, murder is a crime. Incest is equally a crime. Nobody commits incest in public. I have never seen anyone commit incest in public. Like they go at Manda Hill, they take off their clothes and they start committing incest. So your arguments are flawed. Marriage is between two people of the opposite sex. So do not qualify immorality in this country. If I came there where Mama Pumulo lives, where she's sitting right now, and I said I would like to register a polygamous marriage association, would they allow me? The answer is no. Because they do not believe in polygamy. Why don't you believe in polygamy? It's equally a human right. Believe in it. Why do you want to throw nonsense under our throats? Africa, they believe in polygamy. Why don't you want to believe in polygamy? How would the West feel if we start pushing this agenda? So let us stop hiding behind the law. Let us enhance the punishment. Let's take this issue to parliament. Other countries have taken it to parliament. I remember under apartheid, a white was not allowed to marry a black. If you remember, for those of you who watch Trevor Noah, he calls himself a crime child. He was born a crime because it was not allowed. But after 1994, it was now legalized in the constitution. And so Zambia is a democracy. And we want that democracy to be practiced tomorrow. Before I end, I am warning Kamala Harris, tomorrow, we do not want to hear your nonsense of LGBTQ. Mr. President, tell us where you stand. She should not even open her mouth and be given a platform to talk about LGBTQ being a human right. We have morals, we have cultures. How far are you, Mr. President, how far are you going to go in the name of money and throw away our culture? We are a Christian nation. Some of these countries where they come from, they are not even a Christian nation. Money is not everything that guides us. So let us stop glorifying money to the extent of accepting to kill our culture for the sake of money. We need love to lead in this country. We have enough rape issues to deal with in this country. Do not come and destroy the morals of our children. Don't let them believe that this is the right way of living. We say no to this. To Honorable Munir Zulu, I just want to encourage you and say, remain steadfast. Remain steadfast. Freedom is coming. Remember, no party stays into government perpetually. None of them. No one is immortal. I'm not immortal. Mama Maria is not immortal. Mama Pumulo is not immortal. Neither is the president of this country immortal. Others have died before him. So will he also pass on. So will we all pass on. But let's leave good values for this country, like Kaunda did. That's why he's being remembered. So for the little time that you are going to govern this country, you want to leave it in shambles and you want to leave bad morals in this country? No. In fact, we are even the wrong people to host this democracy summit because we do not allow equal participation from opposition political parties. We are the wrong people to host it. How many opposition political parties have been harassed in this country? Harry Kalaba was going to the Copper Belt, went to visit relatives. 15 of them, the police came and said, illegal assembly. So the same thing you were doing while in opposition and abhorred are the same things you are practicing now that you are on the throne. Stop it. Stop it. Lead by good example to be remembered by the people of Zambia the way the Zambians remember Levi Patrick Mwanawasa. If anything, I have never heard the Zambian people say anything bad about Levi Patrick Mwanawasa. But because of your bad policies, promoting wrong values, the country is being split. There's so much hatred in Zambia. There's so much regionalism in Zambia. Now people are identifying people by names. So they align your comment to a name. Is that what we want Zambia to be? Is that what we fought for in 1964? No, Mr. President, Icona man, you can do better than that. And so before I end, I want to wish you the best at that democratic summit that you are hosting tomorrow. And please invite the opposition leaders in this country. Let them have a say. Because we are really tired of your boastfulness and your arrogance in trying to please the Western puppets. Do good for this country. You cannot have a president who is criticized on all forums in Zambia. You are being criticized. The party UPND is forever fighting battles, Mama Pumulo, with people who are always criticizing this government. I have never seen social media abuzz like this. Every day you wake up in the morning, there is a quarrel between PF and UPND. We are tired of this. We are tired of it. You go and commission the same power plant. You cannot go and commission a power plant like an adult. You have to bring in arrogance. You have to bring in boastfulness. Do the Zambian people need that? Hell no, they don't need that. Act maturely. Act like a statesman. It is so childish, like a small little child fighting another little child. Oh, you see what I am doing. You never did this. We don't need that. After all, the Zambian people pay tax. They are tired of listening to this rhetoric. So we are hoping tomorrow or on Friday, when that summit is officially opened, we will hear something of value. We hope you yourself, you are not going to go on the podium and as usual, be arrogant and be boastful and talk about the previous administration. We hope you will be mature enough to address the Zambian people in a sensible way and in a mature manner. I thank you, Mama Pomola.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm going to ban Mr. Felix Muku. I'm going to ban you. HH haters have been at it for 20 years and keep rising. Mr. Felix Muku, whatever your name is, it's very disappointing for you to bring parties and politics here. We have more important things as a country to address. In Solwezi, they are buying Milimio as much as 500 kwacha. And every time we hear is the UPND, DC, PF, this. Guess what? Life is not about PF and UPND. We have 20 million Zambians to take care of. That's why we are here as Ubuntu. And talking about this bashing between PF and UPND, Tuanaka, remember PF, you are the reason why we even looked at HH. If PF you handled, if you did your business as you were supposed to, you would have stayed in power. Now, because of what PF from Malechita, number 2 alibutukira mukano kankalam. But PF ni mo mwebalenga fiance. So Mr. Felix Muku, I'm going to ban you because you are thinking like a child. And before I give Mama Chika Monica the floor, I just want to share what happened to me today. I met a gentleman and he asked me where my name is from. I told him I'm from Zambia. And this gentleman says he has been to 15 African countries. I'm like, really? He says, yes, I have been to 15 African countries. He had been to 15 African countries except Zambia, but he has been to Tanzania, Somalia, among other countries. But you know, he's a constructor. He's into construction. And then he said something which like really it broke my heart. He said, you know, Africa, this is a white guy. He's like, Africa is so rich. And he said that African women are intelligent. He said African women have raw intelligence. They do everything. In Africa, they work silently in the backgrounds. But the men who are in power, all they do is fight. This is what you are doing, Mr. Felix Muku, on this page. When are our men going to put the tools down and think of developing their countries? When? This is our question now. We are asking as women. Put your egos aside and start thinking, how are we going to take Zambia out of poverty? Everywhere we look in Africa, there are wars in the world. Our sons are being killed. Our children are being killed because of egos of men. In Africa, we are the richest country. Congo, Zambia, very rich country. But what is happening? Is the killing and spilling blood of our children. Good example, Felix, you in your page. We are tired of fighting. Let's talk solutions. The president goes to commission a bridge. He invites his comrade, his fellow president, who initiated that deal. But president has taken over the office of the president of Zambia. They are one. It's continuation. He cannot separate, the president cannot separate himself from Balungu. Because it's a continuation. He has to continue Mr. Lungu's work. Whenever HH leaves government, the next person will continue by HH's work, not to bash what HH did. So it's very sad. For me, it is very sad. But the white guy I met today, he told me that it is time for women to take control in Africa because the men have failed us. Even on our pages, men come here to insult us. They are not even trying to see through the logic of what we are saying. He's here promoting hate. And I'll ban you. This is the last warning. Warning, Felix, page, and the next time I will ban you. We are not here to spew hate. We are here because we feel the pain of bearing a child. We feel the pain of seeing 6 million jobless youths there while trucks of Sedulite are being stolen. Why can't this government round up everyone and map a way forward to share this wealth equally? We are tired of these leaders harboring criminals, harboring each other. So now, before I give you Mamachka Monica, I want to talk about LGBTQ briefly to say, you know what? In Africa, our leaders are so corrupt. Our leaders are so corrupt. That's why these Western countries are bringing these values here. I watched a video, a lady in Kenya who owns an NGO, some LGBT organization went to her and offered her $360 million to start promoting LGBTQ in Kenya. And she refused. She's like, I cannot. That is not of my values. So you see these people promoting this culture, they only come to Africa. Why? Because Africa, we can be corrupted easily. Have you ever seen these people promoting LGBTQ in Middle East? Or in China? Or in Russia? Can they go there and promote that? Why do they come to Africa? Why? Because we are corrupt. You leaders, you should start thinking now, the same people who are bringing these new values to you, they are married to people of the opposite sex. They are not married to same genders. Even our leaders who want to accept these new values, lifestyles of living, they are married to opposite sex. So why are these people actually trying to accept what they don't practice? Are our leaders practicing these lifestyles behind our back for them to accept it, which is against our our values as Christians? Zambia is a Christian nation. Hello? And then we should also demand that if they want to bring LGBTQ to Zambia, let the West also accept our polygamous value should be quid pro quo. You accept our values, we accept your values. Polygamy, LGBTQ. No one is superior than the other. How come their values are more important than our values? It's very simple. Can you accept polygamy? If you accept polygamy, end of story. Chapel. Otherwise, it's an insult for you African leaders because they will open a briefcase. You push laws because of a briefcase. In Asia, Arab, they size them up. They come here because they know they can corrupt you, and it's a shame. Mamachka Monica, the floor is yours.
Na totela sana mkwai na tasha sana pamuchinsho mwampelo kunshile chipuno kutila ningaso sako amashiwi ukulunda pali imilandu mwatantawila aya kwa Munir Zulu nefile pitinga na mchalo chesu cha Zambia ama afya aya le shingwana na bena Zambia na ngula ifintu fimo ifishilele to buya ntanshi mchalo cha Zambia ifilele to buya numa mkatika mitima ya bantu. Na totela sana obushikuwa lelo okumona bamama matipa elo kabiri nabo wansansa pakumono kutila munyinane na pola icho kwena chatuletele nsansa twalirufya ishiwi byamunensu taliale unfika panchite itali twatotela balesa pakutila benga baposha bwino elo kabiri na totela bamatipa wesu pamashiwo yo mwalanda ya kankala elo ukumyufu afya fyo mulela ndamama ndemo nafye kwatia ya mashuyi ya chilanda bakwini mpumya ya kutila omusungu achibeba ati na ifike nshita iya kutila na mayo engateka muno mu Africa okulinga na fyenefyo namona imwe bana mayo efye mulepopolola awe kwena na mipela 100% na mulingo okube ntungulushi pantu kwena ichibemba chalanda tina mayo ngasangu kendo shikwena pamushala puo mushi na mayo ngasangu ko muloshi pakumukunto buloshi kwena nishaba abere bengi ifi bana mayo nabema ngamwamona bana mayo nabema muisusha ngamwamona bana mayo bayimina mufintu muisusha pantu na mayo emufyashi wa bubumbo wonse na mayo emufyashi wa chamwe ochonse na mayo ya kuleba kuya unfo obukali bulya bwino kali bulyo bonfo kuleba ngamono omwana wa munanka alechula bulyo obukali bupwa wino obukali bwisa mukuyingira kuli bana mayo baba bwaisa ntapi ubwafya na buyingira na isa pyashi sosa chipamano ichi sosa chipamano ukwali nsoke takwafuile bantu utwala pabwingi tona ula kanshi ififile sosa bana mayo enkasha milimo bana mayo abashirindi batuliyemo bana mayo abashirindi bakatiyete mwenda mwalimwa bana mayo abashirindi baputi bana mayo abashirindi ba mapiete aya mashu balela nda mashu ya kankala kuba amano kuti basambirira mu 2003 pantu kwali nsoketa kwafuile bantu erwa kalafya kaimbiri obuchinga nenshi kushawiramo ilia ikateni ikaturuleni bwesheni balongeni balongololeni abena Zambia na bana Kanadi abena Zambia actually vote out by PF because tabale fayo buli obuwelewele bwale pitingana muri buli obwatu so bayishire image tintangombe okuba sorting out abena Zambia balishwa okuta sort out abantu bantu tabalanda kuti balefwa n'ensala yabo balizi buli abushikunga bwafika be mafiati bwafika obushiku chingilireni buli obushiku epo tabula afika chingilireni buli obushiku epo tabula afika ichi sosa chipamani aya mashuya lelanda ba mama matipa mashwa ya kalamba aya kutila uwa mano kutiatola mu 2003 aya mashwa ya le shimpa pantu abana mayo balelanda mashwa ya kusimpikisha aya le ufuika kuchalo kutila tishinge lelanda bana mayo aya mashwa ya landa ba mama kwini mpumi mashwi aya kushimpa aya chini muyasula muyasusha lesa pangana mayo ukubakafa kuri Adam epo amona palubana mwe bati Adam muna palubana Adam ena mayo na mayo chibu chimocho teti mukwani pantu bumbo bwakwana mayo gwali palwa ilyo lesale pangana mayo talangire kuri Adam alifishire yali ninkama so na mayo mule mutina chiranshita ilyo mwabuka mwa mutina ilili ashiria ikateni mwabatwala mwabalongola yona babekata abena Zambia bate yama kiba esisi na bekata niba ngapo twawini na ma elections emo mwalonga nokubalongolola niba ngaba ntopo twawini na ma elections abo twalonga nokubalongolola niba ngabo twakakapa Fesi Musonda umwana kashi journalist talina mu butungulushi takwete para position iliyonse alifeni simple journalist ukuyamu ikata nemi ntapendo endalama ama dollars yamonekana kumenso y'abantu ati kweneyi ubu ni mukabwala 100% inepona kulira nshai katapona $200 ero uli omwana embiribiri omwana omunono ukwisa musanga na masaka na kwatana makaya kulanda ati in fact tayachiba 65,000 impia shachiba 95,000 amaya ndayo bamwikete nayo teti mpende yo bamwikata bamwikatula bamulongolola abantu na batengere shoku mona tuye na kwena akakwa pape na pa ishinda la malia bamulongolola abantu chaba papusha bayikwinda zi ale yendera na lero so nashimbisha kwa tale shibomfya nomba inenga na ingilira mosana ine ndebo wabulanda sana pantu chile ndetero mwensu nga chako batuli omwana kashi simple journalist akwete ali amapia wati mo bali abana mayo abali mu lutungulu akwa uli atata mashinga bakwata nami ebati nga chakutira uli omwana kashi Faith Musonda simple journalist akwete ali amabilioni katushinga matrillion wati mo bali abenifi abashingulike kuri Bank of Zambia bali abanukuile ama machine ya Bank of Zambia okusha bali apa John Chine na pa Chibombo mashinga bakwete inechira galipa mola mwamuleka ale yendera mwabaleka bale yendera eo twaikaturula ero nishabena Zambia bati expect kutila ifitu afunyapo abaputi bonse bali abayibiro bala batsa discipline ero kwa bana tondolo musuma ero kwa iso uyu mwana wese Munir Zulu efirana kiranda kyutwala pa bwingitona ula alete eri ashikuchalo abantu bonfu efire ekitikati mwikateni mwayamulonga na mumaseos tachiremoneka bwino sana kubena Zambia tachiremoneka bwino sana kubena Zambia umfweni abantu nga balanda ati chichibi ni chichibi majority nga balanda ati no nishimwishi byati chota chiweme chirekeniko majority nga yalanda ati yes nishichibombeni pantu imitwe shaba nenu chalo chimbi temitwe shenu imitwe shaba nenu chalo chimbi epo fiena panga ndipo mfieri abananda tina pantu mutwe wa mwana chalo chimbi shishibe fyale mpingira tetindane na mu bedroom open pantu shishibe chiri mukatika wati mo imitwe y'abantu abengi imintapendwa 20,000 imitwe shabantu shapusana pusana tuletina abantu abantu nga basosa ichi utwala pabwingitona ula kute ya matwi busheni banga basuminishe ekitwachita nibanga bakane ekitwachita nga mwamona majority balanda ati no kirakeniko nishina bakanya bweleni ku bantu mulandi okutilawe twalekelako Lusaka ndola due carriage way abantu balelo le shapali 25 years 25 years ba mama matipata mwakabeko ba mama kuini mpumita mwakabeko inensha kabeko icho tukasholwa isulo mushikubana imitikula empanga ebo tukasha muri mwamoneni because lakesa chitali realize kutila nga imwe mweba pokenda lama chila mweshi kuma target mwafuma kui tukabashire mbuli tukabashire olubuli rubisana akala fya kaimbiri obuchinga nenshi kushawila umukuru tapusa kebo apusa akabwe bukasonkomona ubwakula pamina tabwawama pantu kasonkoma ubwachira pamina umumana batapa muna wafifyeka fyeka kasonkomona tawama nga waya sonkomona kulupako lwansoka ngoshe naikala abantu balanda tuwapya kuli ngoshe fuma uitwalire okuyasonkola ko ngoshe akakupola tawakabwerera biri kulupako twabula 20,000 hectares of Zambian land twaeba titwala pela kuma Kenyans nga chachine katuisha I don't know twala tulefunya kachani akali mwiri nsoli abanensi tulesho omulando uli pali nsoli yesu tulefunya kachani akanono sana akali pali nsoli amunensi tulesho omulando uli pali nsoli yesu omulando chinshi omulando ndela ndapo imiti kula empanga nibanga abo tukwete mu Zambia mwali bamona pa youth day imi ntapendwa abana babule ni muye mubapose muri 20,000 hectares mubaletere na equipment tumone nga tabalime ukuchiro kubule empanga okupera kuli ba muisa lesa takapange polibiri Zambia ni alipanga chali kwa Zambia tulerekere shei tukayibukisha tukashaba na muli mwamone muisai bali abene bale ya muchalo cha Zambia bali abene abale ikuta bali abene abale botolo tufumo bali abene abale kakaula abantu imiaka bali abene abaipeya ma forefathers besu ebo twatampo kubwesha nomba ukulaba pela na 99 years title land 99 years title deed twaba pela 99 years mulelendo kweba 99 years yo wala pela forever ese kane muchalo cha Zambia pali land iyo ama forefathers besu balwilile ukupoka ownership of our land Zambia ifo ile ownership kwambo kuibwesesha kuli bali abene ba pompoliongo eko twabula ile ownership y'abatulikira mule umfa mwe bashasambirira banandi ekibembe ekyo kwakifuma abasungu kwayisa nombaba ab'en Africa. Mule umfa bakisoko ne market, mule umfa mwe bana mu intercity, mule umfa mwe bana mwe bashaire ndaire pya. Uini omwina Zambia takapona 10/2. Takwatapona ka 20/30 asonkera fienganda. Tuabula 99 years title to ya Queen Mariners. 20,000 hectares. You are talking of Lusaka provinces. Tuapela ama Kenyans. Ama Kenyans vachulanga ifufwewe na Zambia. Bukankala nshobo twala bamona tuwatunte. Tuise tulunde pali population ya Zambia. Pantu ya population yabo ile abakuja. Bali yaba raisa mukulima kunota bakese beka. Bakesa n'abakashi. Bakesa n'abana. Inenga na ya ku UK. Na chita seto mu UK tetinsha abana kuba tunta bonse. Na bali yabene twala leta mukulima muno mu Zambia na bala tunta ama families yabo. Ukwisa lunda pa muchushi. So abana nga balira mwakutika. Munir Zulu ngalira mwakutika. Notu kumuika topia mutwala mujere. Abana aba mujere bakaele. Umuntu ayiba fie banzu mulandu wansala batwala kujere bakaka. Funyeni abana mu majere bafulisha. Abana bonse bali aba muri majere batwale ni kuri 20,000 hectares baye mukulima. Bafunyeni mu majere bafulisha. Eko nali lyadde kukamfinsa. Abana bali chura muri mukamfinsa bafunyeni. Bakaele bakabwala bale yendera baputi. Bakatete mwenda mwalimwa bamapiete. Baputi. Batokota bampanga. Bakabwala.
Yo kwena mwabapuisha. Mwabapuisha mwabasinizira. Ati waka 1 second.
Turela ndama mpumi. Ba.
Ati waka 1 second.
Turela ndama mpumi. Ni bakabwalala ni bapompo yongo ni bakabwalala ni bamapiete. Ni bakatiete mwenda mwalimwa. Ni bakalingo ngwaba bisana ni batokota. Ni bapompo lyongo. Pamulandu wa kutira ino turela nda na balala pa matracks ya masuji light.
Bakali.
Epo babikire mitwe.
Track you kuruba, honestly. Ama track you kuruba.
Awe, ama taxi. Madamu Mpumi tayalu epo yali.
Apo yali? Yali kuisa?
Epo yaba ama tracks yali. Ali pera report ula wine polisi umukwa yali. Bakabwala la suji na wela mabale yikalira. Ichirefu ikamuzuya nichi. In the sense abantu ya 20,000. No mbecha la konka batupendeli ama mine haya bamulu apla province ni yanga
20 million mama 20 million
ama mine haya southern province ni yanga yonse ama provinces ama mine yali yanga Zambia yonse so ero nomba bese beshibe ni bana ni aba bombera kuli ayo ama mine ngachako bati bamwenye mulu apla province eba ikatirira ama mine bambyo kulipira tax abena luapula bale fola n'abashibomba bonse balefola amalofu bonse balefola techi baleta po buno shukula twala kufyalo fyabo natukana this time ngabapenda mama ini aya bamulu apula province yali yanga ni banani aba running aya mama mines ero ngabasanga ansa ero babe bati okay mwakula tapasuji right nomba tax mwakula lipile ikulu pakuchirienda lama amalofa yonsa ya mulu apula era fimba nefitenge fyamali galia abantu bera fimba na masaka ngabaya ku southern province yanga mama ini aba southern province bonse aba Southern Province bakula fola every month chilero fwa kufola. Copper Belt Province ama mine yali yanga. Northwestern Province Kalumbila ama mine yali yanga. Onse kula fola. Ukuchila bambi bale lya bale ikuta ero bambi bale chula. Bambi bale lya bale ikuta bambi bale chula. Abana babalanda baleka kwangayi bafyaka nono bamukaka. Bakabwala bale yendeka. Techisuma sana hiyo. Ifunde mchalo chesu difile lya kosa. Human rights mu Zambia tamwaba bafola fienda la masharutu. Bafola fie free taxpayers money. Ba human rights. Mu Zambia nga mwali baba human rights abachine. Bali abantu bakamba 7 days. Ba human rights nga nabengira mokuya ikata uli omulumendo aisa bakamba tula.
Tabala bale pulana no batabala bapatulula. Tabala bapatulula.
Tabala bapatulula. Tantulia mulandu. Umulia mulandu kalambanga nchi. Efyo bafuiri okuchitanifi. Bafuiri okuikata uli omulume wako omukasha. Baikata no mukasha kwa omulume. Baba bika mumasi. Ula na bali abakambate babatwalira bakambatuleni.
So namba bali butuka abulume bamukashana bali butuka.
Na butuka imuni foreigner wa ku Tanzania. Obviously na butuka. Nga mwali baba human rights ilya ine day fyachitike fili. Ba polisi ba human rights bose nga bali bombera chapamu. Baya ikata bali abantu nokubaleta ku kiri ekyamirano. Mukwangu fyanye. Kwaliba because ni ilya ni kwipaya kulya mwe bantu kwipaya, that is killing.
No mama doctor
bose bali abantu
kupatula abantu.
Bala bapaturula munshira nshimanga yalya. Na kuli loko hivi sana kulya loko. Nina ni wala yako mono le loko mukati muli. So ba human rights ama NGOs abantu baikere fyo kukopa. Abantu nabakambatana bale kopa fi mwe bantu nabakambatana bale kopa fi no mbali abantu nga watontonkani. Bale yashani ku toilet. Bale yashani. Bale pilibuka shani. Ubuteko bwesu mufire bwaiba government ya ku Tanzania. Lete ni wendo shibutukiri oko isa ikamba tuli abantu. Human rights kuima kuya ku Tanzania kuya ikata kabwalala. Ba police kuya ku Tanzania kuya ikata oyunchi tatu because na ipa ya abantu. Ba human rights muli kwisa. Ama organization yukula foreign dala meshalut. Bachi soko ne market bali abashisha tomato bali ya tax vacancy batwala. Irenda ile pia bali pila tax. Abakankala bale fola tax yabalanda takwaba ififye na hiyo. Ala kwena. Ati vyakula lavi. Mamae twalilireni. Pakoma ila nondo nishipali ubulema. Pakoma ila nondo nishipali ubulema. Ukwali nsoketa kwa file bantu. Ngamo amfu abalira wangu lola kesha pali buli obwafya. Chinshi balirira omusango efi. Efi ntufyala kontoloka. Thank you.
Na totela mama na totela. So if you're just joining us guys, we are just winding down to amkupwisha. Ama topic ya leo tuwashanda pali democracy. We were talking about democracy. The Vice President of the United States is in the country to talk about democracy, and also to Alanda Pali LGBTQ, to Alanda na main topic, Iyaba Munir Zulu, Honorable Munir Zulu, a main topic. And it's the main topic because Ukukakwa, his detention, his ambush and abduction was caused by the infamous Lusaka Ndola carriageway which the government have signed a public-private partnership loan in which some Chinese company is supposed to receiving tolls for 22 years. If you don't smell a dead fish, if you don't smell a scam, this deal smells like a scam from the beginning. Yeah? If you don't know, you're in a company at ABIC, one of the companies in the Macro Oceans Consortium, one of the companies declared bankruptcy in 2020. So which why we are asking to say, how can the government of all construction companies in the world, how can they sign a deal with a company which declared bankruptcy, a broke company? And then now I come and I answer my own question to say, okay, since the company is broke, that's why number by sakunapsa ati iseni kunaifana tukwatempia twala mikongo eshempieshi from wisha pensioni ela mukakule omusebo ela nga mwakule omusebo for 22 years mukalapoka fiempia ala mwe bantu bakwalesa. Are we that stupid as Zambians to let this deal pass? And someone who says, na kwata whistleblower, ukweba ti, yes, mama.
Ilioli ineli ndefo kulunda kofe pafyo mwala ndefi abana apsa. Na ba Workers Compensation Management Board. Ba Workers Compensation. Ni bali abantu abayamu kushinguluka mtu wampani kula pokenda la mashabantu. Bali abafuira patu wampani ifilema. Ifwe ine wa beneficiary kulia ku Workers Compensation. Mfola 200 kwachi per month. Abalume bandi bali shona ike company. Chila mwana fola 50 kwachi. Inge shwenda la mashaba afwane ifilema. Batampo kupela wobene abale iswayo kwisa 27 years musebo sate years 100 years. Ishota batupela ife fwebene fweba fitumbi fwebene ba fitumbi na bene bafilema. Abalema bafola 50 kwacha na 20 kwacha ba Workers Compensation. 50 kwacha omuntu ichilema pa month enda mukutanta mina 50 kwacha paza nako. Elo lelo besiwe bati ba workers bali kwatenda lama banapsa wabantu wafola 1,500 per month. Uri lampa musubatu pele. Banyaba afuate ba brulu ba. Batupeli ama lampsa. Epo tabala lipira kumiseboko. Batupeli ama lampsa ba Workers Compensation. Ngakwali ba company akatumpa muno mchalo cha Zambia ni Workers Compensation Management Board. Aka company kali tumpo bubisana. Ukula pele filema pa majinga balema nina patu wampani aba apofula. Ama 20 kwacha. Elo bena bale nshem yoto kesha mutengo pa bafwa. Chila nkalipa. Zambia kwa tomu chisha chinani. Shaishwa ba president won't have a support. Taba ishwa kutila abantu Workers Compensation bafola 100 kwacha na 50 kwacha. Lelo besi balanda Workers Compensation na ikwato rupia. Na napsa na ikwato rupia lwa kupela boba kupango musebo. Bebe ni batupele ndala mashaba lumebesi bali bola palisha hapa. Fresh fire. Batupele ama lamsa. Tukamone mpia bakapela bobe ni ba consortium. Twali leni mama kwini mpumi.
Na totela mkwai. So kutwalikira ili ashiri aba consortium ili. Lile isho mubili. So number, mwabotu company tunga tutatu mu consortium. One of the companies, ABIC, is broke. They declared bankruptcy in a United States Superior Court in Los Angeles. Tabakwa tempia. So Fema Zambians, this is the question to Firetuai Pusha. Abayama companies yonse ma Chinese companies. Maishiba. The PPP government goes out mukufaya business to private to partner with us, and why we go out to look for the business is to for NPA. That construction year company alaisa Yala is an NPA. Number why we are saying this deal is smelling corruption, because I am a company at Atulonse, Taya is an NPA. Ubu teko bule funye NPA shaba pensioni, no kupera abama company at Atu. This is why we say we smell corruption. So babu NPA shabu teko, ini ameritari tabandi pena in NPA. From 1999, last week bari peraba kutazara. We say good. Now, my question is, the $1 million question is, I am a company to their Chinese companies. How did they know that Zambia na kwa tempia? Abama Chinese, ababa ishibesha na chukulimpia kunapsa. So, when Chinese companies were ishire Zambia to question impia pa kuchitumukuri no musebo wenu. Mwebantu bakwadesa. Ba ishibesha na ma Chinese ati fana tukwatempia shakuba kongwesha. So if ngana tukwatempia shakongwesha ma Chinese, why did tukuyo musemo wesu? That's why abantu wonse nabema. Ukweba it smells corruption from east to west, from north to south. This deal smells as corrupt as it can be. No, I push up a question at Yonse, they are hanging. Whatever question we ask, it's leading us to corruption. Ba ishibesha na ma Chinese ati fana tukwatempia, because the ma Chinese ushawa ma Chinese munapsa. Elo ninsa mbushi ya kwata ma Chinese ukongole mpia. When pensioners have not been paid, mule mpia mule pera mako ama Chinese from there mwapena 22 years ya kupoka nankani. Ama tolls. Ala mwala tukakafye bonse tu lelo kukakwa, because katuishi, if you katuishi bonse to mandi na majere ya ala isula elo mkule tena majere ya kule, because tuwala kakapa muna wana kau ferari mukala tuchitake ambush mwatu kaka, because we won't stop talking and I'm done for the night. Mama Maria, you can next. Hello Mama Chipa, you can cross.
Na totela sana mkwa indefa fyo kumipusha ba mama matipana ba mama kwini mpumi. Can you go to China and ukuya chita acquire 20,000 hectares of land? Can you go to India ukuya chita acquire land? Waputa ula land wamba no kushitisha real estate. Wamba kushitisha ba mwenye wamba kulipile ndalama. Can you go to China ukuya isula Bank of Zambia mu China? Can you go to Canada? Ukuya poka 20,000 land at na ambo kulima. Na ukuya poka mine. Can you go to Congo? Pa Congo fia pa peni hapa. Ulamona kubaba suna ulabantu. Kutu waya pa Congo apati mpeni 20,000 hectares. Ndefo kisa milimina. Tieni tulele Zambia kwa tirini. Zambia chalo chesu. Zambia chisha washa. Fila fine batushiriri ama fathers. Na bakaunga batushira. Na ba mwana wasa batushira. Chiruwa batushira. Na ifatie ntushiri abana besu Zambia yabo. Ukuchira okubula Zambia okubika mu minwe yaba muisa. Ero ba muisa bakale control abana besu. Already bali ambo control. Amare banize batamama block omcharo chaza block making na eno kula pela ma foreigners ebaletama abana besu bakabombenshi steady revoke kwa license ya ma block making kuma foreigners bamkutamina ma block fyabo nincho shabana besu bapeni equipment bapeni land bambyo kulima tebananganiyo na iwe tata we walandi ati we wikala mubula festing kwebe pota wala isala iwe pompoliongo stata we waikala mubula na tuishiwe polya kaita upuswa we walandira ati abena Zambia banangani yo abalisha wayaikala kwana bene bakashiba kulisho ko kwana bene waikala wambo kupontela abena Zambia ati banangani. Shame on you. Ule mfofo ndekweba wala batulicho na wande okabwela nabana bobe mzambi bakesa sanga Zambia hii ne atulika ukatemwa ni wewe olisha bena Zambia pa kutubebe atulibana ngani walitara utushitirapo chila muntu gunga wikatara uweke sharp puti katiete mwenda mwalimwa pompoliongo napwishi
ala mama abaume balisebana abaume ba mu Africa kubasungu balisebana file fyalandire Trump because abaume ba mu Africa fene nishite chimwikatane. Africa is sitting on the world's biggest natural resources. $1 yali ku Africa. But if you look at some countries in Africa right now, Zambia. What is happening to our minds? They are closed. Ama mind yonse yali closed abantu balechula. Mind kumukushi bali sala. Iyo mind kumansa nomba bali sala na yena kuli mirandu. Mind ni mopani bali sala. KCM mama mind bali sala. Twikere perfume abatulechula. Why? Because of ego. Ala kulalwa. Tishefe mulerwila. Mulelwa bati muleno nkabantu balechula. Shame on you. Mama Matipa, the floor is yours. It's really a shame. Tuanaka. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Thank you, Mama Maria and Mama Pumulo. Mama Maria, I believe in name the person and shame the person. Therefore, kubachita shame obe naba omabe karakubula niba nani. Niba Don Bosco, or Nikamusha, or Nina, you to pele popa no penny pa program.
Alamani nali papa ngani abo malungu lati ba musha bali banazi. Ba musha lyonse balala tulandira balanda. Nambo mungani 500 kwacha ba musha bali.
Mama Maria ndelo niba nani
niba kwini mpumi eba musibe. Niba kwini
baba mu group imwe monaba.
Okay.
Baba mu group imwe monaba balelanda ti Zambia nzitwali balezi. That's why ubuteko bwapela land ama Kenyans. Ama Zambia ni uli yonse kuti abula land ya mkulima. Batatfayo kulima. Ati chawa mepopina bena Kenya kabekese mkulima.
Kansha bakwato obunangani ni ba blue. Fantunana ko kutumenda la makuli ba blue ba kweba kwato obunangani abo beni. Now he's feeling the pressure. Atu mama $100 chila mweshi nadaka. If you are listening, tell your relatives to work. Taturi banangani. We need opportunities here in Zambia. Now I want to go to the issue of 20,000 hectares of land given to Kenya. Mwebena Zambia. Just know that this is a lie. It's a lie. It is not true. And we are not stupid. No country can ever give land to another country to farm on when they themselves have got land. So, taturi fipuba waeche chingamule ufwa, we are not stupid. Tell us the real reason why you have given Kenya those 20 hectares of land. I equally demand Abena Zambia, please be vigilant. Mule mone file chitika. Mule rodesha. And so I wish to appeal to the president to value the Zambian people and to value the country Zambia. We need your protection from ababa muisa. Kabidi tuale igisha na pali ba muisa. Nomba mwambo kutuletera ba muisa na bambi. To come and start farming on our land. Ni ba muisa. If you ndanda kutuwasha munga na mmobe tabakwete fyakulya wayalisha girlfriend. What type of beliefs do you have, Mr. President? I equally want to appeal to you to tell the police, let the police, the ACC, DEC, the judiciary to do their job without your interference. Without your interference. Remember the Zambians saw the way you cried day in and day out of the abuse you received from the police, the judiciary. You were abused, Mr. President. We saw that. Now, why are you doing the same? So, Mwale Tube Pafie, that the police were actually abusing you. Probably they were not even abusing. Mwale Bepa Bena Zambia. Because why are you doing the same? Stop it. Let them be independent. Let there be separation of powers. Don't comment on matters of your ministers. Let the courts work. Don't influence the judgment. Munir Zulu is a big man. For him to have come out and said what he said, Ari Ipima, he knew what he was doing. He does not need your interference, Mr. President. Respect the rule of law that you continue to propound on. Embrace the opposition as you host this same conference that discuss matters affecting this nation. Sometimes I ask myself, are these same participants? I'm sure they will be so shocked on Friday to learn that there is no opposition participating in a subject as democracy. You have not thought about that? It will look so embarrassing to your government that there is no opposition political party attending that conference. Empower the Zambians, the youth. The youth are still waiting for the list of those employed in the army. They are desperate. It's been over 5 months now. What is going on? That's when now people have so much to say, because the longer you take with no explanation, and now you are allowing them to start bringing in stories, some stories which are not even true, but you are causing the outcome to be the way it is. Listen to the Zambians before show you the way out in 2026. If you want, allow Kamala Harris to bring LGBTQ here in Zambia. I dare you, Mr. President, allow Kamala Harris to bring LGBTQ, and we will see you in 2026. I end here, and I wish you all the best, Mr. President. Thank you, Mama Pumulo.
Thank you, Mama Matipa. Mama Mary, last comments?
Ama comments yakulekele.
Yes.
Ama comments yakulekelesha shala ndipo kechili chonse. Balando kutila ushumfa patunono. Na pafingita komfwe. Na la imba fiolu imbolo aimbile bakaunda. Na bena Zambia. Tulesekela no kusangalala. Mumpanga ya bashikulu ifwe. Iyalete kwa na bena fialo. Nomba ilete kwa na kaunda. Tulesekela no kusangalala. Mumpanga ya bashikulu ifwe. Iyalete kwa na bena fialo. Nomba ilete kwa na kaunda. Mwaise nipo mutende. Iye, tuli umutende bonse. tuli mutendeka na besa iye na mufolu imbo mama kwini mpumi tulese tuli mutende muchalo chesu pantu ichalo chapo kwa kuli bamuisa chaisa kubena Zambia beni na kabili tubule bamuisa na kabili tubatunke nyempanga ile ine bapokolwele tachilolelemo yo tachilolelemo na mfie no bali kene sana bakabukushikiro kwali lolonga mwalu mama mati lulyo le imba bakakwala tinga wa muna muisa isa bakaunda wa muna muisa isa washitishe cyalo bali mbire mwika shitishe cyalo bali Kenya bene balulyo buntungwa ichi cyalo twabula twasunaula uyaisa sunaula shitisheni Zambia twakanenda lama chila muntu asende keke yakwa yekale kuchalo kwa lafaya ukuchila bambi bale ikuta bambita bale ikuta inendera le nsala bantu bale ikuta shitisheni Zambia inena ine percentage ya ndi Zambia mumpeli nje njikale kona lafaya okuyaikala bantu Zambia yesu bonse shitisheni chalo cha Zambia mushitishe ngamu ashitisha chila mwina Zambia mumupele percentage yako akuke na bana bako napuishi
na totela mayo. Thank you ladies. Mashumwalanda mayo ya kankala Zambia ya bonse we have not what abantu bapala benestumbe ko musoko twani kale bambo kuli empia shabuteko through salary mwamona bali ko ba minister from 1991 bali ba minister ni masalary yanga bapoka ifitulela ndo kwe batishile niko chance no manga tamlefu okushira ko chance abantu bambi kashi shitishe ntie chalo turedi ya bonze everyone must get an equal share. It's unfair if you're muledi mwa politician muledi ya mweka echo tuleka no kwa chimo muledi ya mweka ba musokotani ni bali mwambiro poka salary mwakotela mufye mupoka salary uyu mwana wabapanjika undo ibata point ambassador ambi yokulimpia shabuteko anda bawishi. The father was his president aleli mpia Zambia UPND isa 58 years umuntu aliache mpia shabuteko umwana wabakaunda uyu elo ngatwa yapa internet yapa abantu balelira kyobunga ku is it mashimba insolwezi ati twafu abena Kongo baleza mkula kungula ubunga nomba ni 500 ku northwestern huko balelira abantu mwebuteko balepapata. It is so sad people what's happening in our country, people just pleading ubunga te twafwa elo muna nitatulana na kulumu no muna nitatishwa nefe bali we don't know what kind of relish they use balelomba fyo ubungo balelomba abantu mwebantu bakwalesa na mukwata matraki ya Suji Light na ya parkinga ama maini mwalisa la bata matraki ya lefuma muledi ya mweka God will punish you mwandi dilesa ngoko abakumulu awe inechi nkalipe chichinesha kubati busha abantu bamo mwandi likatwishi chitwalanda paka bwacha bakamala Harris kuno bale kuno bafumile bakamala Harris kwali ba police every child ngana ukwato mwana munono balapoka allowance $2,500 every month eti abakuno underage child $2,500 abakwata abana to help you with whatever bills yokwete ba mwana uja efo baforesha kashi uno wakwata abana kuno ni Diamond ngana ukwata abana abakwete otunya. That's why bambinchito yabo kuno baikala fyo kulafyala chira mwana ni 2 pin fight every month kashinga ni every quarter nomba ulabomba wishala bomba elonga mkwete abana batatu nishinga almost 10 pin. Social services, social protections eko tulenda tikashi democracy yaba fe kuba butenkanda if our own leaders state waturole keshepo. Look at the poverty that is there. Abana inoshita muzambia balenda kwa bulensa pato Katwishiwa abantu pobalelala.
N'abalala. Mpumi ino chita n'abalala mu Fiboko town. Ama street kids.
That organization of women in Kalumbila. Old people. Abandoned. Old people are abandoned by their families. And you know why they abandon them? Because they have no jobs. So so I have a group of women there who go. Right now, bale pango munkoyo, bale chikanda, ngabashisha ko babashira ko sopo. Iyede bali bashira obunga, babashira na loko basakala bayisa ni obunga babashitire. See, social cash transfer, but you don't have a pera abantu impi. Katwisha abatero bafulele pempi. Social cash transfer. Abalanda bakote mwe bantu bakwanesa. Washitisheni kia chalo. Mwani kwa ta census, you have all the names of everybody. Pagani kia tuma debit card, mutumi tuma debit card tuma district. No kuba loading in MP abantu. Mushtishe chalo. Talk to once a tulia mwiradi ya mweka. Baite mwisha babantu, baite mwisha.
Mama Pumi. Epotamula isala mama. Epotamula isala mama matipa. Isha ishibandefo munja fueko. Usha ambassador nga wamuchita point afiro kwikala emyaka inga muchalo.
It depends, Mama Maria. Kutubai color for the duration that party is in power. Ngabai kala mufye 5 years now in 5 years after the Kwaisa party in Bambwesha. But if that party is in power for 10 years, kuti aikala 10 years umuntu ngabale mfwaya bene ba party. Na alikuwa taba nanje aba aikala mu party as for more than 10 years.
Twatotela. Echo nalandira omusango ino pamulando wakutira mwalishi bati koswenga kokola munganda koswalasha TV. Ero koswenga kokola ale
Awa chachi ne mama. It's true if you're from Lelanda. It's true.
Kateka ngajunda akokola kateka. Mwala mfafe koswe nani wa asha TV. Kachi ni koswe. Ichirimba chambo kuhira. Kachi ni koswe. So na babe nyama ambassadors. Aba kokola mfialo. Baba bwe sheko ba mwempia bafola shafula. Na ama apartments mekala mo ya mutengo emyoto kabencha sha mutengo. Na bambi balieko noti mwo inefye uleli olupia ichalo bashitse twakadi ero nat kwato obwafye obukalamba sana na mayo alifwa ku Portugal echo nalandire lya shiyama yama ambassadors wula ndo bukulu obo tukweti na mayo alikala 20 years mu Portugal ali bomba 20 years mu Portugal na mayo alwala ba ambassador no yako no tumako na representative until abana beso bakashana mu diaspora basonkenda lama bamulwalika mpaka afwa nokushika bayashika kulya kuine ku Portugal uko abula ambassador nangu representative so abo abana ba uyo muntu bashala mu Zambia bashire kita report kuline mama chikamoneka twapapa talandeni pa social media ba ambassador batupokere ko fienda la mesha bombera bamayo twalaya kui muleti poshani mama matipa.
Abo bamayo bafile ku diaspora babashika ku diaspora abana babo bekala kwisa kuno ku Zambia
na abana bonse baba kuno ku Zambia bale chitanga babo mbero batumi na abana babo utwakuliana ku maskulu nomba baisa alwala lija balwala takuli na ngumo wale yako ba ambassador taba yako neko bashiko mwina Zambia ko kwine kufyalo ku diaspora taba ishbako aba sonkere mpia bana beswa baba mu Zambia bena Irene bakashana bengi abena Victoria eba sonkere mpia eba lea na ku hospital mukutensha mpaka no kushika bashika nenganda yako bako mafye ba ambassador taba ishbe chichitika ero ama ambassadors atinga baya kuda kufyalo tabapenda na bena Zambia bayikala mu certain country tabeshiba because imwe bamtwala mu foreign mufile mwaishi ama Zambians abali mu country bandeta bali banga n'abana bafyala bali banga nenchito babomba ninchitonshi nga kwalwala omuntu ninankane ni responsibility yenu ngaba ambassador nga muno mu Zambia muno mwali ba maseni uli ambassador wa maseni ule tamwa abo museni onchura mwali ba ambassador wa ku China ala mona abantu bako why fwebe na Zambia nga batwala mu foreign tu amukupozinga bupozile je bu Mr. Kupe na buna Kupe twalile ni mama mati.
No, Mama Maria, did anybody contact the Zambian embassy of Adedwala to alert the mission?
I think so.
That
I think so. Pakuti balandefi nishibali ishiba.
Because the onus is on the Zambian government also to try and assist in whatever way they can to repatriate the deceased back home. Zambia sometimes the ambassador is equally supposed to show some human heart, even at the time that this lady was sick, to pay a visit to this person that was sick, because they are looking after the interests equally of the Zambian people there in that mission. They are Abantu of Africa in a foreign country. They are supposed to go to the Zambian embassy and register themselves at that mission. Vapela mashina yabo noko bekala noko babomba, so that ngabapone na mubusanso, at least the embassy have details about them, of where they stay and where they work, you know, so that if anything happens, the embassy is able to contact their place of work and see how best they can work together in either burying the person there or repatriating the body there. Together with Zambians, now I hear Zambians barachita donate to Mundungafwa, ku diaspora, you know, but a long time ago, during Kaunda's days, it used to happen that the embassies will repatriate the bodies of Zambians who die. But nowadays, the budget being very tight, you know, they sort of did away with that. That's why no Mbamule Mona ama Zambians ever sonkenda lama to repatriate a body of any Zambian that passes on. It's really because the embassies nomba taba kwatenda lama shidesho vale kwatakale echo ama Zambians basonkafi. But the ama Zambians nabo ngabaya kufyalo vale chita register ku embassy, so that nangwa obeni abale sonkenda lama basonkati, let's repatriate the body. At least the embassy nayo it's involved, you know, it's involved in the repatriation, because somewhere accounts, you know, the children are entitled to that. Maybe she's entitled to certain benefits that the children would also want to, you know. So I think the children, they need to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and see somebody at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, give the name of their mother, so that which embassy is it, Mama Pumulo, I don't know.
In Europe.
In Europe.
So that Portugal.
Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that the Zambian embassy in Portugal is engaged, and they see if the woman left something, that needs to be given to the children. Maybe she even had property, you know, and maybe she even had bank accounts, you don't know. And the children would like to put clothes. Yeah. So the children would like to put clothes.
20 years. So batupokereko government itupokereko empia. Itupokereko empia. Tatwa kwa tempia twala na nkwembasi twala ya kuisa. Twala chitashani. Pantu ba mami na laptop yabo, ama phone yabo, ama bank account yabo tatuyeshibe bwino. So moneni ba mama matipa. Ifunde ngeko lyabe lya kutena ine balinga sikyo ofini. Baisala ndatinga wafi omuntu nga waituntumba watwala abantu mufyalo. Okwabula government ukwishiba. Wishiba tefyoka ituntumba nokubwesha. Nomba ine nimpapa sana. Takwa befunde lyaso. Mama matipa.
Mama Maria Kale, diplomats were sent from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You know, it was so well executed. No manda kai, awabantu abayama foreign service, makadas wekabeka. Can't you party teach paninga chaisapo? They just send cadres who know nothing about diplomacy. Nangubaya kuli yo in a school of diplomacy for 3 months. What are you going to really learn in that school? So they don't even know the meaning why they have been sent to those missions. And so it's important now that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs reverts back to its original standing. Figabale tuma ama civil servants as diplomats out of the country, not ama cadres. Because in Dakaima cadres grade 7, I have a school year diplomacy for 3 months. Off they go to go and work in a big mission. Eloyama missions, yeah, you know, there are missions that are very sensitive. You know, quite right, missions say of China. You know, those missions, they don't just agree to anybody, even a cadre being sent. There are missions say normally in the States, in Italy, in UK, you know, Kulawa, they scrutinize you before you are actually sent. But when it is corrupt, there's very little that you can do. So Ababa and Mama Maria, I would urge you to speak to them and ask them to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to see what they can manage to get. You know, I'll speak to you privately and see how best we can equally come in and try and help.
Efo nalandile kutela sana ba matipa. Efo nalandila pakubati ba mama matipa bakwini mpumi twala afashani ababana. Bakuti baye ku embassy kuya. Baba chita assist because bali abana bala mu street. Tabamu abana bali ba disturbed. Tabayishwana banyine po balala.
Yeah. So anyway, and I just want to comment. Inengo muntu waikala kuno for over 20 years. This is now lessons to learn. If you are in diaspora, waikala ku Portugal on your own, it is very important to look at two things. One, their status, legal status, is very important. So if you are in that position, under the radar. So under the radar, you need to let your family know all these details. Status yandi yabefi. Nshakwata mapepa la oko mbomba nyuku oko njikala nyuku, because law forbid walwala wafwa, it's really bad if you are under the radar. Mamona, so very important. Abana bomube pushe legal status ya banyina. What was her legal status? Was she a citizen of Portugal? Those are the things you need to know. Like legal status. They
probably don't even know. You know,
exactly.
sometimes.
So it's like a lost cause. Unless yes. But for even the Portuguese government, the Zambian government, people diaspora, let your people know what your status is. Somebody you trust, even a friend in diaspora, give them your information. It's very important. Because once one way, you only die if you are born. We are all going to die, so we have to prepare. I think that's one thing, a difference about our culture, na culture Abasungu. Abasungu, they plan for everything. So we also have to adopt that culture, especially if you're in diaspora, because you're not home. Plan for your exit. The day you die, how is it going to be? Especially if you're in diaspora. If you are in Zambia, families there will take care of you. No, but you are here alone. Mamona, ule bomba, walwala. Give those details before you are sick. This is my status. I work here. This is my bank balance. Make a will. Take a policy. If you have no beneficiary, I work in the insurance industry. They don't pay. Beneficiaries, they will not pay, release the money. Everything has to be documented. So I am just educating everyone. That's one of my jobs that I do. I'm in the insurance industry, and we always educate people, plan. Most of my clients are Sungu. They plan. Leave a will, leave your beneficiary, let them know where your important documents are. Otherwise, embassy, Tamushwe status is like a dead end. Unless family in Portugal and finance their whole trip. So it's really kind of sad, but it can be avoided if people just plan. Ulimu diaspora, let people know your status. Walikwata mapepala, walikwata will, nganika policy, wabula ka policy ka kushikirako. Kuno kwali wa OZA, Association of Zambians in America. They are the people who bury Zambians. Those who don't have family or friends or help contribution to send the money back to the body back home. But also that being said, the government, the foreign service, there is a funding, Balakwata miscellaneous allocation to help communities in their countries where they are serving. But the problem is Mutuliemo. They do not want to use these funds to help families. Yeah, because they get an allocation. It's a foreign service. So there's a miscellaneous funding which they get. They can easily take it 200 or 300 to help somebody in that foreign country where they are, but they don't. That's why they don't even answer their calls, because they don't want to be bothered with the problems. They are appointed to those missions to solve problems, but they don't pick up calls because they don't want to bother. They don't want to help anybody.
Mama Pumulo, Mama Judith Kalumba Onassis has said she's urging all the Zambians that live in the diaspora to join African Group Insurance Diaspora People, that it really helps.
Yes, yeah. For me, I'm an insurance broker. I've written policies, a few Zambians. I'm a Zambian, I mean, no insurance policies. I've met a lot of Zambians, and they tell me that, you know what, if I told about Sonkera, and if I benenga to Afabaka Sonkera. So the attitude is really bad. Guamona. Quite insurance, you can take out a small policy, really no. I mean, Yama Zambian Mandin, I'm an insurance broker. Balakanda. Atibara to Sonkera, if we to Sonkera. But you know, the problem with that is that when somebody dies, it's the family ku Zambia bachula. If you feel abana balechula. Mwamona.
Yeah.
So it's really sad. This is another topic for another day, which we need to talk about and educate Zambians in diaspora. I don't care, you are in Europe, you're in USA, Australia, it's the same. If you don't plan these things, your family will be in problems. So it's sad reality, it's the harsh reality. Yeah.
Thank you, Mama Pumulo. I think I need to leave you.
Yes,
ladies.
we need to go to watch the overstay. So are we
Yeah.
coming tomorrow or Thursday? Thursday?
I think let's close
Thursday.
the program. We can discuss.
All right, guys. See you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in.